Good morning, y'all. Before the shower. Um, I Miss Hazel gets up about 10 minutes earlier every morning, which is okay. I needed to bake my sweet potato bread this morning. Now, it seems like that when I'm cooking or baking, I think more so with baking, um, I always have some kind of little screw up. So today, what it is you mix your wet ingredients, and a lot of recipes are so good. They put all the wet ingredients and then all the dry ingredients. So it makes the recipe much easier to follow. So I'm making the one with the, I don't want to say real sweet potatoes, but the fresh cooked ones. So I decided after I ate some of those sweet potatoes, they were fine. And I didn't say pissy, I said pithy. It was so funny when one of y'all said that. Miss Letty, I think that was you. But anyway, what I forgot to do today, everything went just fine. I used my mixer this time to mix up my sweet potatoes, worked really well. Except my mixer does not seem to have a low setting. So, I did get a little on me. But this is yesterday's shirt that I grabbed because it's got long sleeves. Um, so, everything went good. Put them in the oven. Now, some bread recipes call for you to lower your oven rack one level. This recipe didn't call for that, but I lowered it anyway. Well, we're going to see. Did I screw that up? I don't see how it can be okay for one recipe and not okay for another recipe because they pretty much have the same stuff in them. Now, I particularly like this recipe because of the amounts of the spices. I love those baking spices, y'all. Allspice, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Well, what did I screw up today? It calls for 1 cup of nuts, and they're optional. Now, I nearly always use walnuts for everything, y'all. I don't know why. I pretty much always have, unless, of course, it was a pecan pie. It's not a walnut pie, it's a pecan pie. But anyway, so I put my, mixture into my. The other thing I like about this recipe is it calls for 2 8x5 baking pans, and that's what I have. I don't have the 9x5 pans. So that's what you get at the dollar store. So I put them in the oven. Then I go over and I wanted to remember a couple of things. So I was writing them down on the paper. And hold on. I couldn't remember from last time. Did I put the wet mixture in the big bowl or did I put the flour mixture in the big bowl? Well, the wet mixture is what needs to go in the big bowl, at least for me. And then I made myself a little note to use the mixer for the sweet potatoes. So I looked down, and I see my nuts. I forgot to put them in. I ran over, took my pans out, put a half a cup of nuts in each thing, and then stirred them around. I'm not doing without my nuts in my bread. Okay? Now, I had just put them in the oven. So, I'm hoping. And y'all know if this is a fail, I will let you know. And I'll try my best, y'all, to um, take a little video when I take them out of the oven. I fail to do that all the time, and I'm so sorry. Okay. Um, Now, this recipe, in case y'all want it, it is a very good one. It is, the site is Taste of Home Sweet Potato Bread. Now, it's got a 4-star rating. I didn't read all the stuff, the reviews. I usually do if I'm going to make a recipe. I want to hear what people have to say. Um, but this is the one that I made before, and it was really good. And it says up here, we raise and sell sweet potatoes on our farm in the lower part of the Texas Panhandle. Y'all, food that comes out of Texas, that's usually pretty good. Years ago, a customer shared his wife's sweet potato bread recipe with me. It's been a family favorite ever since. And it's signed Joan Helms. Now, y'all, there's no way I can pronounce this city. It looks like Quitique, Texas. Now, if y'all know that little town and I mangled that, I'm sorry. So, it's got 3 cups of sugar, 3 lightly beaten eggs, and 2 cups of cold mashed sweet potatoes, and a teaspoon of vanilla. So you mix all that up in one bowl. 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a teaspoon of allspice, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now, what I really like about my little spoons that are magnetic, besides them being magnetic, they have the round part, and then they have the elongated part. And this part is what is good for getting down into your little spice jars. Now, if I end up with kind of a, mounded amount, all the better. And a half a teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. So there's baking powder and baking soda in this recipe. And a lot of times it's one or the other. But I was real careful about that, y'all. I just forgot about my nuts. So we will see how this turns out. And I'm pretty confident it's going to be fine. Now, y'all, if that mixture had been in the oven for, like 5 minutes or something, I would have never done that. I had just put it in there. So I'm pretty confident it's going to be good. Now, Terry's coming over today, and I'm making one of his favorite things, which is the ground beef, the rice, and the green peppers that has molasses and soy sauce in it. Now, I've got I don't know, maybe a half a cup, not even that much, I think, of sweet potatoes left. Yep. I'm going to chop those up and put them right in there. I'm not going to waste them. Now, if I put them in the refrigerator thinking, okay, I'll heat these up and I'll eat them later. I don't know. I really like sweet potatoes, but I'm so afraid of wasting stuff, y'all. I just hate it. And that's why I I don't know. I don't like to have a refrigerator full of food. Now the ground beef, I got a pound and a quarter. And so I use a pound of ground beef. I'm going to make my rice now so it'll be cool when I add it into the hamburger mixture, and that way it doesn't get gummy. Now, I'll try to uh, show y'all when I'm making that. Maybe I already have. I can't, I just, I think I'm going to try to figure out how to put my videos in a playlist. And the ones that are of cooking, at least I can look at those and know whether or not I've already done that for y'all. Now, I know I've done the bread before. Now I have done the oatmeal, blueberry oatmeal fruit bars. Um, but I just hate this forgetfulness and that maybe, I've already done it. It makes me out to be the scatterbrain that I am. So, I'm going to show y'all my mess. I'm going to get that cleaned up good, cook my rice, and by the time my bread comes out of the oven, then I can get in the shower and get myself, somewhat duded up. So here's my mess, y'all. And I tried to copy this. I don't have that kind of talent. I tried selecting all. Oh heck no, that printed everything. Blah. I tried to mash on it and move the little cursor thingy down there. Couldn't get that to work. So that's why I told you the recipe comes from Taste of Home sweet potato bread. So all you have to do is Google that. It'll come right up for you. Onto the mess, and then I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to see if I can do this on my tripod. Okay. We've got those two bowls. There's my mixer. There's my hamburger meat thawing out. Yeah. Check that out. Now, doesn't that look like a fun mess to clean up? And there's my little bit of sweet potatoes left. Let's not leave out the flour mixture. Okay, y'all. I don't know how people... Okay, I'm holding my tripod in my hand. I could not do this. So many people, when they start making videos, they have them really close like that. That's too much. I don't know how they hold up a selfie stick. There is no way I could do that. My arm's giving out right now and starting to tingle. So y'all do something fun today, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now. See, I'm moving it around so it can get closer and I can turn it off.